What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, eventually, Captain America 4 New World Order is going to move to filming at Trillis Studios just south of Atlanta, and when it does, they'll be indoors on a soundstage. Presumably, we're not going to get to see any of that until trailer footage comes out, hopefully, quote-unquote, next year. In the meantime, they're shooting outside and on location in Atlanta and DC, which has led to the last 30 or so hours providing a ton of brand new shots on set of new characters like Liv Tyler's Betsy Ross returning at a funeral. We had a full video covering theories regarding that yesterday, and today we get our first look at President Thaddeus Ross. That's right, Red Hulk Harrison Ford on set alongside Tim Blake Nelson's leader, and there are a couple of things going on in these shots we need to talk about. So we're going to break down the latest and newest set photos, the very first look at Harrison Ford, Tim Blake Nelson back on set of Captain America 4 New World Order. But first, I want to tell you about my friends over at comicbookdirect.com. They are a brand new website that's really putting the ease of buying comic books all in one place. You can go there and get the one-offs you need. They work with all the major distributors, including Marvel, but the major feature, and especially for me, is that if you're in the middle of a run, you can go ahead and subscribe and get those books delivered to you weekly, which makes it easier than ever, especially in the modern day of Marvel, to keep up with these stories. You can go ahead and pay in advance, get a bigger discount, or just pay as you go. And if you act now, for the next 100 people who sign up below, you're going to get 20% off. That link is down in the description. Again, that's comicbookdirect.com, the easiest place to get everything from figures, mangas, collectibles, and especially the comics you want. Okay, so real quick, if you want to see the photos in person, you can click over to my Instagram. It'll be linked at the top of the comments. I put the photos there because they're just safer. I don't want to risk a copyright strike here at the channel, and occasionally they come through and do that. Even though I see them at a ton of other YouTube channels, I just don't want the risk. So if you want to see them, again, my Instagram will be linked at the top of the comments and pinned. You can click there and see these photos. But the first one shows Harrison Ford on set dressed in slacks, a blue shirt and tie, presumably already President Thaddeus Ross. The next two photos show Tim Blake Nelson's leader on set in the same location. Presumably they'll be shooting together, and what's interesting is that you can see his hand has already started to turn green, the color of the leader. Obviously his head isn't enhanced by a prosthetic. He doesn't seem to be wearing any mocap either, whether or not they'll be CG enhancing, whether or not he'll already be changed, because remember, at the end of the original Incredible Hulk film, that was teased in the post-credit scene. Now in the comics, it is the intelligentsia, and specifically the leader, that give Thaddeus Ross his Red Hulk powers, but the problem here is that the Red Hulk doesn't get to transfer back into Thaddeus Ross back and forth like Banner does. He only gets to stay the Red Hulk, which led to him creating a life model decoy. Now, that life model decoy could be what we see here, and as we discussed in yesterday's cemetery video, I did not think that Thaddeus Ross was up for being the one that was part of that cemetery funeral. I didn't think they were going to kill him off in the beginning, because you have someone like Harrison Ford playing Thaddeus Ross. You want to get some screen time out of him, but the life model decoy storyline could be the perfect way to keep Harrison Ford with screen time and all the way through the Thunderbolts, but also have him be the Red Hulk. Now, from Harrison Ford's point of view, and thinking about this from the outside looking in, it could be that they only really need him to shoot through the first act before they turn him into the Red Hulk, and then simply have someone else on set doing the mocap, and he could just do the voiceover from a local soundstage or studio right around the corner from his house, shoot probably even from his house. But that means you don't get to have him in the film, and it'll be interesting to see which route they go here. If they want Harrison Ford to have a lot of screen time, I think that would make for a much better film, but it doesn't mean he won't be a life model decoy and revealed to be such, even if he makes it through the Thunderbolts. And you can also sort of imagine, with the way this film is rumored to have some of the spy thriller vibes, where they keep some suspense there, we don't get to see the Red Hulk and Thaddeus Ross in the same scene at the same time, right? So it looks like for sure that it's him, and then in a sudden twist, they're in the same scene together, but really people who know will know that it's just a life model decoy and not the same. It'll be interesting to see again which way Marvel goes with this, but one change we know for sure, even though the intelligentsia, and as I said moments ago, the leader specifically gave Ross his powers, they also involved MODOK, which I'm so surprised. MODOK makes his entrance into the MCU, and with perfect timing to be a part of the story from the comics, and then they killed him at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Yeah, maybe there wasn't a logical way to bring him out of the quantum realm, but he was all lined up for a perfect part of this storyline, and he won't be a part of it anymore. It looks like what they're going to do, though, instead, is change that to be She-Hulk's blood and the storyline they set up with the intelligentsia during the first season of She-Hulk. And it's kind of crazy to think that that one Disney Plus series will have such huge implications, but eventually it'll make its way over to Thaddeus Ross, where he'll become Red Hulk, and there'll be some ambiguity, I think, at the beginning, which is which, but I absolutely can't wait to see this, how they choose to do it and what the CGI looks like. But really, the only thing that I'm cautious about for this film is the number of characters and or storylines that have already now been confirmed to be in it, on top of the rumors we've already heard. Not only just the leader, the intelligentsia, Red Hulk, Betsy Ross back, presumably Banner as well to push that story forward. Then you have Sam Wilson and all his ancillary characters like the new Falcon, a brand new character in Sabra who was confirmed all the way back at D23 and now who has been shot on set but not introduced to the MCU yet, and rumors of the Serpent Society, on top of Tiamat becoming Genosha in a war over adamantium. My whole thoughts is that's all awesome and amazing, but I surely hope that they take their time going through it, and we used to get the opposite. Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, famously said they just would not put a character in a film unless there was time to do that character justice, and that's why we never saw, say, Beta Ray Bill in the original Thor Ragnarok, even though they're rumored to even have done some of the preliminary CGI, just because they didn't want to waste the character. And while I would love the idea of the Serpent Society and the Intelligentsia and the Leader coming back and Red Hulk all getting some shine in this film is going to have to be no less than 3 hours long. And you know, maybe there's a way to do it. I argued that the Serpent Society may show up as, say, maybe like a mini boss at the beginning of the film, so you can have your typical huge action sequence at the beginning of a Captain America and or Avengers film, and it would make sense, but it still is dangerously close to becoming another multiverse of madness where maybe the cameos are more exciting and in theory than the story becomes itself, because we just did not get enough of the Illuminati. They were so obviously shot one at a time and on a green screen. When they all fight at the end, it just felt that way, and I'm hoping this film doesn't fall into that trap. I'm optimistic though. Marvel Studios has obviously been making changes, and they are filming this thing well in advance of the timetable to put it out. They're going to have plenty of time in post-production to make sure that they can do reshoots, make sure the story's on point, make sure the CGI is on point too, and they better do it, because otherwise they've wasted Harrison Ford and the Red Hulk. There's no point in doing that. But guys, let me know, where in the world is Bruce Banner? Really, the only character that isn't tied to this original Hulk film is Bruce Banner. We have everybody else but Bruce Banner. You think he's still yet to be involved with this film? I'm all ears as always. We have videos coming on just that soon at the channel. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we are still giving away a PlayStation 5. The next milestone is right around the corner for Guardians of the Galaxy. If you want to be entered to win, or for any of the other giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under All Fires. And I want to say quickly, even though it feels like we've gotten a reprieve here from the bots that were spamming YouTube for the better part of a year, please try to remember that all YouTubers always announce winners during the live video. We'll never contact you in the comments. If you should get a spammer trying to say that you won, never contact anyone on a third-party app or give them information. No YouTuber, myself included, will ever charge you for shipping. Please be safe and vigilant. Just report those comments to YouTube. They delete them pretty fast. But alas, I think YouTube may have turned a corner on this because it's been a couple of days. I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. All right. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. See you guys in the next one. Peace.